Today I'm testing an angel food cake recipe from one of the well-known gluten-free bloggers, Meaningful Eats. And did you know that in over my 25 years of baking that I have never made an angel food cake from scratch, let alone a gluten-free one? Now, I've definitely made my fair share of cakes in my lifetime because I love to make my family members their favorite cake on their birthdays. And this one today is for my son's 22nd birthday. He loves an angel food cake, and I'd like to eat it gluten-free. So let's get started with Meaningful Eats gluten-free angel food cake recipe. Shall we? Meaningful Eats is a blog, and you won't find Erin's recipe on YouTube. The blog was started in 2012 and now has more than 1 million people view it every month. Hundreds of reviewers agree that this is the most delicious gluten-free angel food cake recipe around. This tried and true recipe was originally published in 2013 and is one of Erin's #1 recipes today. So let's go ahead and make this, and let's see if it really is that amazing. I'm excited if it is. The first step in this process is to separate the egg whites and allow them to sit at room temperature for at least 30 minutes. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, measure 3/4 cup and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar into your food processor or blender. And then process the granulated sugar slightly, about 5 to 7 pulses. You don't want to turn it into a powdered sugar, just a little finer than it normally is. And then set the sugar aside. Now you're going to, in your food processor or blender, blend or process together 3/4 cup of gluten-free flour. I love the cup for cup flour for all my baking needs. Also, then add 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and then 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. What you want to do is process those 3 things together until they're smooth, about 30 seconds. And then pour them into a bowl or just leave them in the blender and set them aside. In the bowl of a stand mixer fitted with a whisk attachment or using a hand mixer, beat the 1.5 cups of egg whites that have sat on the counter for 30 minutes on high speed until they start to foam. Once it's began to foam, then add 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1.5 teaspoons cream of tartar. Add 1 tablespoon vanilla extract and 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract and continue whipping on high speed. With the mixer running on high, slowly add the granulated sugar 1 tablespoon at a time until all the sugar has been added. And wait now for the mixture to turn glossy with soft peaks. Using a rubber spatula, slowly fold in the flour mixture 1/3 at a time. Do this carefully and slowly so you don't deflate the egg whites. This is the key to a good angel food cake. The video, of course, is sped up so that you don't see this, how slow I was going. But the whole time I was mixing it in, I felt like I was losing the volume of the egg whites, and I was trying to do it as softly as I could and yet still while mixing in that flour. So that's something to note. Using that same spatula, scoop carefully the combined batter into an ungreased 10-inch
angel food cake pan, trying to make sure, again, to keep the same volume of the egg whites. And now you're going to bake the angel food cake at 35 to 40 minutes in the preheated oven of 350 degrees Fahrenheit until it is lightly golden. Remove the cake from the oven and immediately flip the cake upside down onto a wire rack. Once it has cooled completely, run a thin knife around the edge of the cake and gently remove it from the pan onto your plate until the cake releases. When I saw the finished cake for the first time, I was actually quite impressed because this looks just like a boxed angel food cake in all appearances. Now, we weren't eating it that night, so I needed to wrap it up so I could save it for when my son came home for his birthday celebration. Next day, and it was time to cut into the cake. Now, this is the moment that we all find out how it turned out on the inside. And at first appearance, it looks just like it should, with some air bubbles in it. Nice and fluffy is the word that I would use. And it smelled delicious as we cut into it. So we're going to put some strawberry sauce on top and some whipped cream because that is how I love to eat my angel food cake.
As a cook and a baker myself, I would say that I thoroughly enjoyed baking this angel food cake recipe, and I can tell you that Erin puts a lot of heart and hard work into creating recipes just like this. And what I love about trying new recipes is that if you are successful, and it is a success, like this one, you get to add another great recipe to your skill set and share it with those that you love. I believe that it's 100% possible to eat amazing, delicious, and familiar food on a gluten-free diet. I don't think you need to make 2 separate dinners for your family if you eat gluten-free, because there are so many amazing, naturally gluten-free recipes out there. My goal is to share tried and true gluten-free recipes that you can serve to anyone, regardless if they eat gluten-free or not. So hit that subscribe button and come along for the ride, because this is going to be fun. Give this video a like and go ahead and watch the next one.